Hello and welcome to this week's video review for the Wind and the Willows series. This is Gadget Mad this week, another early summer episode. Interesting one. I remember it from childhood through a compilation video that featured episodes of Dangermouse and Count Duckula. So let's get straight into it. Gadget Mad. Press play now if you want to sync it up. And so I'm pressing play right now. There we go. So, like I say, Gadget Mad, for me it's one I do remember. I had it on this video. I don't know if anyone had this video as a child. So this one is basically not a Thames release. It's actually a company called Lollipop who brought out these sort of children's compilation videos. And like I say, it's got an episode of Dangermouse and Count Duckula in it as well. Yeah, this was my introduction to this episode, and I like it. I really like this one. I think it's a great one for Toad against the other characters. It's a typical Toad episode in that he's got another craze, but I like it because this one reflects the time. You know, it's about the advent of electricity. Can't speak today. Electricity, and Toad, of course, he would be obsessed with this. And it is exciting, you know, I'm totally with Toad on this. I think the others are quite sticking the muds they are on this episode, I think it's great that Toad's excited by this. And it's a really funny episode, despite there being no presence of the weasels. It's one of those that's got a lot of funny, witty lines in it, and just a really funny setup. Although, having said that, being a summer episode, it's quite dismal in a way because we are indoors a lot in the episode, and these shots that we see here are the only really outdoor shots we get. The rest of it, like I say, is indoors. But that's okay, it's fine, you know, it's still... Never mind, it's still a summer episode. So here we are, we just saw some things going on there, some nice lighting effects. So we kind of wonder what's going on. And then we reach Badger's house, and I like it because we see Badger doing what he loves, playing chess. Nice traditional game, and it's a nice contrast to what's about to come. So this episode was... Let's have a look at this. So this was actually directed by Barry Purvis. So Barry, if you're online viewing this, be grateful for any comments, any thoughts you have on this. I have said before, obviously I've worked with Barry, and of course Barry has his regular animators, Andrea Lord and Monica McCartney. Interesting those days that they, you know, all these episodes basically had two animators, possibly three at times, but yeah, a couple of animators sharing all the characters. So I assume out of the four they had two characters each. I know that Andrea definitely did Mole. But I'm not sure about the other characters. Don't know how it was shared out. Maybe Barry again, if you can elaborate on it, it'd be interesting. So, like I say, the episode's a little bit dismal in terms of lighting. You know, we always get shadows in Badger's house. We've got a bit more outdoor here. Actually, nice look at that shot. I've got the foliage in the foreground there, so nice to see that continued on from the film. And this is, of course, in series 2. This is episode 11, I believe, from series 2. Yeah, and we're still getting shots of things and foliage and objects and things in the foreground. It's got a nice depth to it. Yeah, but I've always felt that Badger's house needed a bit of a lift in lighting. You get a lot of shadows, particularly underneath character. I mean, look how dark Ratty is there. You almost need a light, you know, glowing upwards, or a bounce board at least. But in these days, you know, lighting was regarded as secondary. It only became much more of an art form in stop motion, if you like, kind of later on at Cosgrove Hall. So this is nice. This is a nice little scene where Ratty, Mole and Badger are kind of talking about Toad. You know, the fact that they haven't seen him in so long, and now he wants them all to go to Toad Hall, so they've got a surprise, so they're all wondering what it might be.
Whatever is he up to?
But Badger, of course, as he says here, he fears the worst. And I like this touch going into the painting of Toad Hall. We see that in a few episodes, going to a painting that relates to where we're about to go to or where we have been.
One who marches beneath the banner of a progress. Toad, whatever are you? Who brings a civilization to a
we, and of course the other characters, are wondering what all these dust sheets are. Obviously hiding objects of some kind.
Yes, Badger. What are you blathering about? Blathering? Now look here. I say, Toad, have you had the decorators in?
Ratty talks about having decorators in. And I love Toad's outfit. It's kind of a lab outfit, a lab coat.
Heavens, Toad, there's no need. It's a surprise. It's my surprise. That's
So,
why I asked you here.
I keep going on about the lighting, but there is actually a reason, and it's valid, that the lighting is dark at this point because of a surprise Toad has later on the episode. Those that have seen this obviously know what it is, but Toad Hall will, let's just say, get brighter. I'll give it away now, really much. But the beams of light we do have, and we look at that light on Ratty there, are basically through the windows. So we assume there's no actual lighting in Toad Hall, or very little, and any lighting that we do see is in fact from outdoors shining through the windows. So it does give that effect, like I say, particularly with Ratty there, the way we've got that kind of shaft of light on him there. And it's positioned well, so we do see Ratty at least when he's talking. So that's good. I like the way he says that, never mind food. So Toad now is delivering this speech without being literal, without revealing what he's talking about. He's actually building up to it, which I like.
Toad, what on earth? Stairs are things of the past. Not at all sure the poor fella hasn't had a brainstorm.
I like that line, Badger. A brainstorm.
It's not dry rot, is it? More like
Mole's line, it's not dry rot. There's a lot of funny, witty lines at the other characters.
What are those doors? I'm gonna take a
So here we go.
Oh my!
The first reveal, the first surprise that Toad has for them. I like this camera pan to it.
Aha! Behold, it's me, it's Toad.
You can see it's a lift, and I think it's a great idea having a lift installed in Toad Hall. Of course it goes wrong. Being Toad, of course nothing works when he wants it to.
My dear friends, I'm Will he be all right? I'm sorry, Mo.
You have the animation of the dial there as well. Very smooth, perfectly done. It's a beautiful lift. I mean, look at those doors, stained glass doors. Of course, Toad would have to have stained glass, wouldn't he? And I think it's a shame that we don't see this lift in future episodes. Interestingly, in a much later episode, A Toad in Time, in Series 5, we see the remains of this lift when he's building his time machine. So in his shed, if you like, or his workshop, which we don't see until Series 5, we see like the doors, so it's a nice little nod to the past there. But I think it's a shame that they didn't, use this lift further, because I think it's a wonderful idea having a lift there, and it's again perfectly in keeping with the times where electricity was coming in, and it was kind of changing everything. It took us out of the Victorian period into Edwardian and of course Georgian. There we go. So
Electricity. Oh, Toad. I have heard about it. It has nothing to do with it, Toad.
And I love this. I mean, as a child watching this, you're kind of learning a lot. You're learning the fact that electricity was brand new then. We take it for granted now, and in the 80s, of course we do. And Badger has heard something about it, and the others have. And Toad, I love how Mole, by this point, Mole's so developed as a character, and he's very much on Toad's side. He's excited like Toad is. And I've said before that Mole and Toad are almost like the children of this family. They're like the kind of, Toad's the over-energetic, over-enthusiastic
Thank you, Toad.
conceited and whatever, you know, child. Mole's the shy, retiring child, and Ratty and Mole almost like the parents. And I have thought about it this way many times. They are like a family unit,
Go on, press.
and they all between them represent versions of people we all know.
Press harder. All right.
I love this. This ongoing sound of the bell. And what I love about this is how Toad is so excited and so pleased with his doorbell, but he gradually gets more and more irritated with the sound of it.
I said an electric door. Oh, yes. All right, Barry. Yeah. Well, you can stop pressing now. There's a good chat. What? I said
So,
stop. Hurry.
he's saying he can stop pressing as if Mole's still pressing it.
What? He says he stopped pressing. Of course he hasn't. Oh, I say, Mo, don't do that. Mo,
That reaction there is lovely.
I mean, no. What the bell? Oh, no,
So they can see the bell, and it's just.
At least it stopped.
I love that touch, red hot. So Toad goes to pick it up, and then the instant drop there. There's a nice pacing in this episode, actually. There's some nice fast moments. Because a lot of the Wind in the Willows is slow pace. You know, let's face it, it's a little bit slow in places, but episodes like this, it adds energy, that really needed energy. So here we go now. We're building up to why Toad Hall is so dark, and why Toad made that strange comment to Ratty. Do you think it's dark enough to have the lights on? Of course, Toad is going to about to reveal electric light. And we're about to see Toad Hall lit much more
No more poking about
brightly.
with stupid matches. No more horrible old oil lamps and wretched dripping candles. Oh, no.
But I like oil lamps, Toad. And candles are awfully friendly.
You
And that's a lovely line from Mole. The candles are awfully friendly, and I can relate to that. Of course they are.
No.
Lovely homeliness and coziness with candles. I still like candles from time to time.
Anybody who's anybody will have electric light.
But I don't want to be anybody. I want to be Mole. I want all of you to be just who you are.
Oh, Mo, don't be so...
Lovely little lines, aren't they? I want to be Mole. I want you to just be who you are. So here we go. Some lovely light effects. I love these lights in the suits of armour. And you see all the wires and cables. But look what it does. It totally transforms it, and there we are,
Think of that.
much brighter.
It's certainly very bright.
It's very nice, Toad, but it's not like the old lights were.
Oh, look.
It's loud and it's brash and it's vulgar, Toad. And though I hate to say it in your father's house, so are you.
I like it. At least we can see the characters now.
You're turning your dear father's home into a showground.
Well, if
That
that's the way
beautiful
you...
shot, looking down on all the
What are all
characters
these
there.
things?
Hey,
So Toad now, Mole being inquisitive as he always is, he's interested in what all these things are.
Not
I
that
like this sideways glance back at Badger there.
Oh, now, Toad. Go on, Toad.
They are electrical appliances. You see?
So it's got a certain look to it, Barry's episodes, and it's interesting, you know, with all these directors, you can kind of tell a director's particular episode, and I don't think any particular director is superior to any other. They've just all got different feels to them and all equally valid, which overall gives you a kind of different versions of the series in a way. You look at the way Toad's animated, for instance, and it's either, like I say, Andrea Lord or Monica McCartney animating him. He's got a certain look, and they did have different versions of the puppets as well. So a Jackie Cockle episode, for instance, would have a different Toad puppet, and it just had a slightly different look, and all the characters did as well, actually. So this has a similar look to Toad Astronomer, a similar look to Caught in a Maze, Mayday, and so on. You know, all those episodes, they've just got... And it's really hard to explain what I mean, but it's the way the animation is, the way Toad moves, the hands have got certain movements to them. When Paul Berry animates Toad, it's got a different look to it. Perhaps a slicker look, you could say. Paul Berry would tend to go for very clean poses. In fact, Barry's episodes you have that as well, but it's more movement, you could say, I guess, in ways. And I love this action scene. Look at this. And again, unusual for The Wind in the Willows to have this amount of action going on. It's crazy, and I love the way that arm comes back to Mole. Beautiful, graceful movement of it coming down, and then it's a vacuum cleaner basically tickling Mole. I don't quite know what that object is with all the flying. I don't know what that is. Mouth cleaner? I don't know what that is. But beautifully made props. They're all made to move and to work, to be animated. They don't just look good. They've actually got hinges on them, and you can pose them so those hinges would have been stiff enough to be able to remain in place for a frame. Just beautiful stuff. And the music you hear is a great track called Steamboat Rag, which is actually available on CD or on iTunes, so look it up, Steamboat Rag. Really nice kind of jaunty piece, like a Charleston type piece, written by, of course, Keith Hopper and Malcolm Rowe, and used for a lot of frantic scenes in The Wind in the Willows, or party scenes, and yeah, scenes just like this. And then we've got Steam on Glass, would have been placed on glass there, of the electric kettle boiling. In the kitchen, as Toad says. Now we've got the lights going, the lift doors going crazy. I love this shot of a pan, darkness, and then you've got a silhouette of Toad. Isn't that beautiful? We can see that the day, they've been there all day now, and we're going into night.
Of course I can. Toad. I'm a man of the future. I'm not a stick in the mud.
Just a lovely touch having that silhouette. You can see his hand coming out. It's beautifully animated. So well directed. Good on you, Barry. Wonderful shot. And I love how he's relying on matches now. I'm quite sure how they did that match. I guess it was a little light bulb. Not quite right for a match. Obviously, you'd want to see the flame, but that would have been very hard to do in stop motion.
Well, Toad, feeling any better?
Yes, thank you, Badger. That beef tea of yours has done
So,
me a world.
that would have been a nasty fall, wouldn't it, down that lift shaft?
And things are back to normal down below. What? Oh, good.
We boarded up the
So it's
lift
beautifully
shaft,
constructed, this episode. I think it's typical, like I say, there's a lot of episodes like this where we finish with a scene with all the characters gathered around Toad, and Toad having been foolish or an idiot. The others have dealt with everything, all the things that went wrong, whether it be dealing with the weasels, or in this case dealing with fixing things that Toad's made a mess of, like boarding up the lift shaft.
I know that progress is a hollow sham. A will-o-wisp leading us.
So now he's talking about progress. He's moved on,
Yes, Toad.
but we do get the sense that he's not quite done with progress, even though he's gone out on about it, because we've been there before. We've seen this in many episodes where he alludes to something else that he's going to get interested in, and that's about to happen right now. Nice animation there of his, I don't know what you call it, this kind of a hot water bottle on his head, isn't it? And it's animated, it's kind of sliding around as it would, so it's a little bit loose. Nice little touches.
But how I miss you when you've gone to your own dear, simple, primitive homes.
And again, Toad is never straight to the point. He likes to build up to what he's talking about. I'm a little bit like that. If I want something, I want to talk about something, I'd gradually get there.
Soon I will be able to hear
So I can
your
relate to
voices,
Toad.
whether you're here or not.
I guess out of all the characters I am probably
I shall
Toad.
be able to lie here.
Well, that's a good or bad thing, I don't know.
in your home.
But I think we've all got each of these characters in us to some level. That's part of the charm of it all.
Telephone.
So, the telephone. Toad talks about the electric telephone. Now, that's a later episode, which I've already reviewed, because that was a spring episode, Mr. Toad's Telephone. That was in Series 3, so it was a little bit of a wait before we got there. And he certainly didn't use a telephone like the one he's holding there. He uses ones that are kind of wall-mounted. And that's kind of a tabletop one, isn't it? So we got the usual Toad at the end there. And yeah, it's a lovely episode. I think it's got some wonderful moments, some great one-liners in it, and some great action in it, and some beautifully shot pieces. So yeah, great episode, Gadget Mad. So there we are. So thanks for watching. Again, next week. What is it next week? Oh, consult this. The Great Golf and Gamble, which is a summer episode that takes place outdoors, which is great. You know, I think of summer episodes as, yeah, they're better off outdoors, isn't it? Summer is all about the great outdoors, and but yeah, Gadget Mad, I do like that one. Please do leave comments on it. It'd be interesting to hear, like I say, from Barry. There he is there, directed by Barry. Yeah, I mean, it's unusual to have an episode taking place so much in Toad Hall like that. But yeah, I love it. I love the props in it more than anything. Just those gadgets that all work. You know, I just wonder where they are now. I don't think there are many like that in the archive. Be interesting to know. So yeah, there we go. So thanks again for watching. Thank you very much for the comments. Please do keep them coming, and do subscribe. You know, I do get more subscribers all the time, so I'm really grateful. I am off to Annecy, the Annecy Animation Festival next week, actually, which will be fun. And when I come back, I've got 2 episodes to review, because it's not just the Great Golf and Gamble, but it's the next series 5 episode. I forget what it is now. Let's have a look. That will be Toad in Motion. Great one. Another one about technology and but with the weasels involved this time. So yes, thanks again, and I will see you next week for the Great Golf and Gamble and Toad in Motion. All the best, and see you soon.